Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Nort, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be doing a performance check on the Pfister 811 vehicle. Now, this vehicle was recently added into GTA Online just a few hours ago, and ever since this has been introduced, loads of you guys have been asking me to do a video reviewing its performance, its speed, and whether you guys should get this vehicle or not. Well, this vehicle does cost $1.135 million, and to start things off, I'm going to do the obvious and just test it against the current fastest vehicle in the game, which is the X80. And as you can see, this vehicle does keep up. Now, the X80 is fully customized, my Pfister 811 is also fully customized. The acceleration on this vehicle is pretty insane. It pretty much matches up to the X80, but the X80 just has a higher top speed, meaning that once the acceleration power is over, you will see the X80 slightly push along forward and slightly beat the Pfister 811. But if you guys aren't worried about the extra $1.5 million, go for the X80. But if you guys are looking for the best car for your money, the Pfister 811 is definitely up there as a car you guys should consider. Now, I'm just going to do a speed test as well along a drag race. This is simply just testing the time over a kilometer. And something interesting is that the Pfister 811 once again put up a really good battle against the X80. And personally, I don't think there's too much difference between both vehicles. The X80, on the other hand, does look a lot sexier on the outside than the Pfister 811, which looks like a standard supercar, something you might expect. In my opinion, it's kind of ugly compared to other supercars in the game. That's just my opinion. I think Rockstar Games intended for that because yes, it has amazing performance, but compared to other vehicles, it's not the sexiest. Something interesting is that previous time I just showed you was actually the fastest time I got overall, testing out the X80, the 811, as well as the T20, and any vehicle I've tested on this test track. 20.755 is the fastest time I've ever got, and the X80 did come close to it, but it didn't beat it. As you can see, we then got another time very close to it indeed. After testing this vehicle out 3 times on the track, we got an average of about 20.8 seconds, which is really good for this vehicle considering it's worth $1.135 million. So if you guys are looking for a fast car, this car might be the one for you. It's also got some really good handling, mobility as well. I understand the X80 doesn't really have the best handling in the game. Anyway, I'm going to test out the X80 now, and we're going to test out the performance of this vehicle. I'm going to race it 3 times, see what time we get as well. Of course, this is a drag race. Once again, I couldn't beat the time of 20.755. That was almost impossible to beat. I tried this out so many times, and I couldn't beat that time. So, by the looks of things, the 811 might be a tiny bit better when it comes to drag races, and maybe races as well, given that I believe the handling is slightly better on the 811 than it is on the X80. However, I will let you guys decide on that. Anyway, as you can see, first time through, we get a time of 20.8 seconds. Very, very close indeed to the fastest time with the 811. Unfortunately, it doesn't really get any better than that. All the other times are just around the 20.8 area. But as you can see, the 811 does put up a really good fight against the X80, which is really interesting considering the X80 is worth $2.7 million and the Pfister 811 is worth $1.135 million. So either way, you're saving a lot of money, and there's really not much in it apart from bodywork and what the cars look like. So it depends what you guys are after. Now, like I said earlier, as you saw on the airport tracks, it looks like the X80 has a very similar acceleration to the Pfister 811, but the top speed of the X80 only just beats out the 811, which is something I would expect given that this vehicle is more expensive. So if you guys are looking for the fastest vehicle, I believe the X80 still is the fastest vehicle, but it's only just the fastest vehicle. And if you guys are wondering whether the T20 is the fastest vehicle, that is now not the fastest vehicle. The 811 smashes the T20, the X80 smashes the T20. I will show you that a bit later on. Going on to the third test though, with the X80, as you can see, we actually get another time of 20.8 seconds, almost 20.9 as well. But as you can see, those 3 times weren't amazing. We got one in the 21 seconds as well. So I would say this has like an average of about 20.9 seconds, which is really interesting. It pretty much lost out to the 811 on a drag race. Now, if you guys are wondering how my 811 is so damn fast, I've seen people going onto 21 seconds, almost 22 seconds with the 811. This is simply because I took off the armor on the 811. The armor is also off on the X80 as well. By removing the armor, the vehicles go a slightly bit faster than they would have done. So that's just a small tip if you guys are interested in doing that. And as you can see, it does definitely make the difference. So that's something we did on all of these vehicles. As you can see, the T20 gets absolutely obliterated. It barely pushes into the 20-second zone, pushing into the 21-second zone on almost every single try. So the T20 is no longer the fastest vehicle, and it has been holding that crown for a very, very long time. So it's really interesting to see the T20 finally be knocked out. So what would my personal preference be? Well, personally, if I didn't have too much money, or if I wasn't too bothered about what cars looked like, I would go for the 811. In fact, I would probably race with the 811 just because I don't really have too much control when I use the X80. I'm not too sure if this is an issue with you guys, but the Proto X80 is slightly more difficult to control, in my opinion. It feels like it's not weighing to the ground too much. It feels like if you turn, it can drift and skid way too much, and the handling and traction of that vehicle isn't the best in the game. Of course, it's still really good, but in my opinion, I don't think it adds up. Meanwhile, if we take a look at the 811, it feels like it's grounded to the ground well. It's got some amazing acceleration. It's got some really good top speeds as well, only just coming short of the X80. But if we were to race the X80 on a racetrack with the 811 at the exact same time, I think it would be a very, very close race. So once again, if you guys aren't bothered about the money, the 811 is definitely a vehicle for you. The only disadvantage is that this vehicle doesn't look as nice as the X80. But who am I to decide how a car looks or not? I'll let you guys decide. Personal preference, whether you like the looks of the 811. But this vehicle just came out this morning. Nevertheless, it's still an absolute beast, an absolute beauty, and it surprised me when it actually kept up with the X80 given the insane price difference. You could get 2 of these vehicles and you still won't be able to afford the X80. So that is the reason why I would go with this vehicle and I wouldn't buy the X80, just for the fact that the 811 keeps up with it very, very well. It's a very good competitor to the X80 and it's only just shy of the fastest vehicle in the game. Given that we got the X80 vehicle last week, and now we have the 811 vehicle this week, I know there's one more vehicle to come out, so by the looks of things, we should be seeing that vehicle come out next week. So when that vehicle does come out, once again, I will do another speed test, so you guys will know how good that vehicle really is. Of course, if you guys do apply armor, the vehicle will be slower, so I'll leave you down to what you want to apply on this vehicle. The lighter it is, the faster it will go. That is the rule you guys want to use. But nonetheless, it's still an absolute beast. I recommend all of you guys get this vehicle if you guys are interested in a really good supercar. It's cheaper than the T20. It's also cheaper than the X80. And it is just an absolute beast. And I believe this is the first topless supercar in Grand Theft Auto 5, which is really exciting because it's something we don't really get. We don't really get topless supercars. I know in the past, you guys have been requesting it in a wish list, how cool it would be to have topless supercars, and it looks like Rockstar Games finally gave through with that and introduced topless supercars. But as you can see, if you guys want to get a roof on this vehicle, you guys can. So if you're worried about whether you can get a roof or not, you can get a top, you can get a roof to this vehicle. It's not vinyl made, it's not something which will go down or up whether you want it to. It's an actual roof, so you can transform this vehicle inside the Los Santos Customs. So there's some new additional awesome customization features for this vehicle. You guys need to go and check them out. There's some amazing things on here which I absolutely love, and you guys can dress this up really well. If you come up with some awesome paint jobs, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. But overall, the T20 is no longer the fastest vehicle in the game. This keeps up very, very well to the X80, and if you guys aren't fussed about how the cars look, the 811 is definitely a vehicle for you. I think Rockstar Games have been really nice with the price of this vehicle, considering the performance this vehicle has. And if you guys have any opinions or any tips or tricks about this vehicle, let me know in the comments section below. Anyway guys, my name is Nort. Unfortunately, that's all I got time for today. If you did enjoy this video, please don't leave without smashing that like button. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you are new here, so you won't miss out on any more Grand Theft Auto 5 content every single day. Anyway guys, my name is Nort. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.